All right, next up we have Christopher Vaughn. Christopher Vaughn is a poet and teacher based in Minneapolis. He has performed work as a featured poet at events in Milwaukee, Boston, and the Twin Cities. His work has been published or is forthcoming in Amethyst Arsenic, Off the Coast, Unoya Review, and Hawaiian Pacific Review. He reviews poetry for the online journal Prick of the Spindle. Please welcome Christopher.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I want to thank David for organizing this Cracked Walnut reading and all of those who have come out to listen. And I don't think Satish is here tonight, but Satish Jaharaja is the creator of the Cracked Walnut series and has really initiated a lot of this, so I'm grateful to him for connecting with me a couple of years ago and getting me into some of the scene. So I have three poems to share tonight. I just need to find them. My first piece is Bacon. Each time Uncle Ted deployed, we'd have breakfast at Grandma's in Dedham. Pancakes and bacon as he packed for Kuwait, bacon and home fries for Bosnia. She'd stand by the stove, bearing her apron and scowl, peeling each pink slice onto the skillet, her retriever Shady chasing the scent into the kitchen, only to lick Ted's boots as he bent my dad's ear about advances in cockpit technology. Each deployment, Ted had less to say of what would come. He came back always with photos and let them do the talking in the way of the old, too old to hold a crowd, or the young who have stared too long into the fire. He threw out his back before Gulf War II, told us they'd still call his name, for brains and pilot hours weren't a dime a dozen. Ted finished packing upstairs, pants neatly filed, fatigues rolled tight as cigarettes. One at a time, he told my dad, as they eased his green sack down the steps. Ted's letters arrived with his pinpoint cursive telling of pranks between guys condemned to FOB tents on baked sand, line after line coming like sheets of rain, each word so tiny as to seem silent, but only when seen from afar. The letters piled on Grandma's telephone table, next to her post-it notes and rosary beads. Afghanistan, Iraq again. The final time, Grandma had me help with breakfast. I manned the skillet and gathered all the broken off bits to leave only the good, tough meat. And when he didn't return, we went to the diner in town where we could have our silence together. Thank you. My next piece is, this is Recruit Davies calling from Paris Island. I'm doing fine. I'll send my address in the next 7 to 9 days. When I send my address, write me quick, write me funny, write me dogwood, write me cigarette drag, write me Great Dane bark, write me boots breaking sidewalk ice, write me. When you call me imaginary, call me cocky, call me snot-kicked, call me waterboard, call me boy, boy. Boy gotta diligent, boy gotta don't look back, boy gotta get tomorrow's sunrise, boy get your ass on that blacktop and give me 50, boy quit acting all little boy on me. Daddy, when you write me, make it something I can need. Make it scrape like a needle on a record. Be grist, be gripe, be stickler, be strangling. Thank you. And my final piece is a sailor tries to stave off cannibalism after the sinking of the USS Indianapolis. And just to give a little bit of background, during World War II, when the atomic bomb was shipped over to the islands in the South Pacific, it was brought over on a carrier called the USS Indianapolis. And the USS Indianapolis, in July of 1945, went across the Pacific Ocean to Tinian Island and dropped off the bomb, which was dropped on Hiroshima. It then was returning from that island to the island of Guam, and in the middle of the night it was torpedoed by a Japanese submarine, and about 900 soldiers were thrown overboard, where they floated in the middle of the Pacific Ocean for 5 days, and for most of it nobody even knew that they were missing. And eventually about 350 of them survived. So, a sailor tries to stave off cannibalism after the sinking of the USS Indianapolis. Sleep is the humid hiss of mosquitoes in the guts of a laggard carrier. Mayday is a lurch and a shattering, dismembering steel and flesh as a foremast twists, buries its cross in the black slick. Oil is a last-ditch cascade down the rump of a hull. Oil, a devil's mouthful, gurgled at the portal of death. Sailors who freighted a payload of unbridled fission now flit and slosh, a skein of dots on a heaving sea skin. A flail, a snatch at a life vest. The dawn sun skids. The sea echoes of jetsam and terror. Elbows lock like linked crustaceans where shark fins leer and quaver. Heartland gunslingers hurl elegies into the froth of their dissolution. Wayfarers for the glint of a seaplane that might wing the horizon. Day over day, the sun is a wanton desquamation, the sun that peels men into boys, men made double-knot stomachs, men made limp supplicants, men made sexless spinners somewhere out in the radar axes of a gasping war. Somewhere they droop and float. Somewhere whirl and drift, buoyed only by the edicts of a far-off, crippled order, buoyed by whatever hope they can babble at the vast midnight, through the gasp of another man's breath and the scent of flaking skin. Thank you so much.